teams have had to wait over 10 games for their first win. Only on 5 occasions have they survived. Newcastle United the last in 21-22. They had to wait 15 matches for their first win on that particular campaign. They ended up finishing 11th. Southampton are on the attack here. Here is Fernandez, edge of the area, out towards Manning. Cross first time. Little flick by Lamina, deceived everybody actually, because Aribo, had he been aware, might have picked that up inside the penalty area, as there's a goal on Wearside. John Bennett in the Championship.
Top of the table, Sunderland 1, Coventry City 0. Brilliant volley by Wilson Isidore, cross from the left-hand side, and it looped into the back of the net. Sunderland 1, managerless Coventry 0.
Norwich City 0, Bristol City 1 is the latest score in the Championship as well. And in fact, there's been a goal at Ellen Road. Julia Bold.
It's now Leeds 1, QPR 0, and it's been coming because QPR struggling to get out their own half. Jayden Bogle, the man to score. Leeds 1, QPR 0.
A typical busy Saturday afternoon as Fernandez passes the ball out of play. Wolves have a throw on that far side, the right, Paul Robinson.
It's a pleasure to sit here and watch you work, Dano. It's fantastic. But we have got a great game in front of us as well. I mean, there's 2 teams here that are playing openly. They're looking to win the game. I mean, we criticise Southampton at times for overplaying. The interesting thing with Ryan Manning making the extra man in midfield, they hybrid at the back very quickly between a 5 and a 4. And it's Manning, he's the one that's allowed to drift into midfield. Kyle Walker-Peters drifts into more of an orthodox right-back position. And on 2 or 3 occasions today, Ryan Manning, yes, he's had his goal disallowed, but he's got himself in crossing positions, and they've looked really dangerous down that left-hand side.
Ryan Manning, whose last goal was April 2023 for Swansea against Huddersfield, thought that he'd got his first goal for the club in his 46th appearance, however chalked off. Hibs 0, St Mirren 1 is the latest score in the Scottish Premiership. You're up to date with the goals as they go in on BBC Radio 5 Live, the World Service, and also available on the BBC Sounds app. As Bednarek, left of the centre circle, just waits. Armstrong is on this near side, the right, quite high up for Southampton. As Paul Robinson quite rightly says, Manning is providing a lot of width on that far side, the left, and they're looking towards him every opportunity, linking up with Fernandez, and then he plays the ball back, as then Southampton edge their way into Wolves territory with Bednarek. Harwood Bellis, left of the centre circle, just inside his own half. Lallana to Archer. First time ball towards Aribo, but the interception from Ait-Nouri, and Wolves have it. Mention that goal at Carrow Road. Details from Mark Webber.
It's Norwich 0, Bristol City 1, and Norwich year-long unbeaten league run under threat as Anis Mehmeti rolls the ball into the area and onto the right-hand side of the goal to make it Norwich 0, Bristol City 1.
Interesting as well, you mentioned Manning on the Southampton left, but Ait-Nouri looks to get forward, doesn't he, for Wolves? Very attack-minded.
He's one of the most attacking players that they've got. I mean, he scored 3 goals already this season, but he's a player that I really like. I mean, he doesn't shirk his defensive responsibilities either, but he makes these very, very clever runs in behind the defence and in field as well. Clever player.
Wolves lead 1-0. Adam Lallana wanted the referee to play the advantage, but both players have stayed down in that challenge on the far side. Strand Larsen is the Wolves player. Manning has just got to his feet, but that was the reason that Thomas Bramall was unable to play the advantage on that occasion. Larsen has stayed down. He's actually holding his right thigh at the moment.
He's done himself. It's a dead leg. He just hangs his leg out just in front of Manning, and Manning runs past him and sticks his knee right into the middle of Strand Larsen's thigh. Adding
to the frustration for Southampton. Motherwell have taken the lead at Fir Park against St Johnstone in the Scottish Premiership, 1-0, and Chesterfield 0, Accrington Stanley 1 is a latest score in League 2. Chesterfield unbeaten in 8, that's a surprise. As here is Ait-Nouri, passes the ball up towards Cunha, tries to get past Harwood Bellis, who tugs him back. That'll be a yellow card for Harwood Bellis. Penalty at Twickenham, Chris Jones.
England 5, Australia 3. Lolaseo putting the Wallabies on the board, but England should have scored their second try. Marcus Smith clean through. The forwards got white line fever. They do have a penalty. Will they go for goal, take the scrum, have a tap? We'll see. England 5, Australia 3. Entertaining stuff after 12.
Commentary continues on Sports Extra. Brentford, Bournemouth, John Southall.
0, Bournemouth 1. First chance for Brentford. Yana on the left, 16 yards out. Good strike straight at Kepa. Brentford 0, Bournemouth 1.
It was a straightforward yellow, really, wasn't it? Once Harwood Bellis had done what he did.
Oh, he was done all ends up. I mean, it was so easy for Cunha. You could see Harwood Bellis coming in behind him, whipped it round him, and he was away.
Cunha attacking for Wolves, left corner of the penalty area, enters the box now, tries to bulldoze his way through. Oh, that was a comedy of errors. The ball was ricocheting everywhere. And then there was an attempted clearance by Adam Armstrong that has caught Lallana full on in the face.
He won't thank his
Absolutely
teammate for
floored him.
Oh dear, that was a real melee in the box. 2 or 3 players tried to clear it, and then Armstrong on the half volley. I mean, we're seeing it again on the replay. It's like for 3 or 4 yards away from him, he's put his foot right through a half volley. Poor Lallana's taken that full on his forehead.
It was actually done twice in the face as a cross from the corner is taken, in swinging, lost by Ramsdale, and the referee's spotted an infringement and blows his whistle. He was caught twice there by the most unfortunate of circumstances. One certainly for too good, too bad on Match of the Day 2. Try Chris Jones in the rugby.
Well, we wonder what England would do from that penalty. They did tap and go. Ellis Genge, nice hands, and Chandler Cunningham South has gone over for his second. They're just checking whether the grounding was clean. It looks okay, but we're just seeing whether the referee is going to allow this one. If he does, England will be 10-3 up. Chandler Cunningham South with 2, and the kick to come from Marcus Smith. But come back and we'll confirm whether this try is going to stand.
Sports Extra for the commentary of that. Walker Peters for Southampton, cleared away by Wolves, who lead by a goal to nil. Bednarek has just clattered that from forward position of the centre circle right into the stand away towards our right, the Sir Jack Hayward stand, and that'll be a goal kick.
That's something more fitting to the rugby update, I think.
Yeah.
He's come charging in there. He's hoofed that from the halfway line. It's cleared Jose Sarr's goal by a long way.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what Let's have it in Polish is, but it was certainly one for a no-nonsense clearance from Bednarek. Wolves fans won't care about that because they're still leading by a goal to nil. The only goal in this game, despite that Southampton thought they'd equalised. Bournemouth, of course, are leading Brentford by a goal to nil. Crystal Palace, Fulham 0-0. West Ham against Everton is also goalless. Ait-Nouri forward on this near side, the left. We've been playing for 25 minutes on 5 Live. He waits and then passes the ball back to Dawson. Let's check in at St Andrews in League One. Pat Murphy.
It's 0-0 against Northampton. Predictable. Northampton getting all their players behind the ball, but they had the best chance. Guthrie, 1-on-1, 6 yards out. Superb save by Alsop, low to his right. Birmingham 0, Northampton 0.
Bromley are down to 10 men. Carl Jenkinson has been sent off as they're drawing away at Cheltenham in League 2. No other goals to tell you about elsewhere around the country. Walker Peters keeps his balance, gets away from Cunha on this near side, the right, does a little step over, drives forward, and the challenge comes in. And it was a good challenge too by Totti, and behind for a corner kick to Southampton, who trail.
It had to be. Very, very good there. Carl Walker Peters on the outside, gets around the outside, and comes across. Totti Gomez times his challenge well, but again it's another set play for Southampton. It's been strange in a way, this game. Both teams have allowed the other one possession. When they surrender possession, they both drop off and get into a defensive shape very quickly, which you can see that they've worked on this week. I mean, conceding the goals has been a huge problem for both, and you can see the shape they both try and revert to once they've lost possession.
Manning waits to take the corner kick for Southampton on this near side, the right, playing from left to right as we look. An in-swinger headed up, rather than headed away, it was actually headed behind. It was dropping towards the 4 post, and Sarr tried to get it towards Cunha, couldn't get the space for the release, instead switched it to Sarabia. Ait-Nouri now is forward. Wolves give the ball away, try and win it back as they're coming together, and that will be a free kick. Manning has been fouled outside the centre circle, and back to Chris Jones in the rugby.
Try given, grounding was fine. Cunningham South's got 2 tries already. Smith converted, fast English start this. England 12, Australia 3 after 15.
Another goal at Brentford, John Southall.
Brentford a level, Brentford 1, Bournemouth 1. Long throw came to Johan Wieser at the back post.